Let me take you back to a time of fierce battles, grand empires, and impossible feats. This is the story of the true history of the conquest of New Spain, told by Bernal Díaz del Castillo, a man who lived it all, fought in the thick of the action, and survived to tell the tale. It's the gripping, first-hand account of the Spanish conquest of the mighty Aztec Empire in the early 16th century, an epic filled with adventure, danger, and moments that changed the world forever. Our journey begins in 1519, when Hernán Cortés, a daring and ambitious Spanish conquistador, sets sail with a small band of soldiers toward the unknown lands of Mexico. Among them is Bernal Díaz, a soldier and chronicler who records every moment of this dangerous expedition. They have no idea what awaits them, untold riches or untimely death. But what they do know is that the land they are about to invade is ruled by one of the greatest empires the world has ever seen. The Aztecs, led by the powerful emperor Montezuma. As Cortés and his men land on the shores of Mexico, they encounter indigenous peoples who speak of a magnificent city, Tenochtitlan, the heart of the Aztec Empire, with temples that rise like mountains and wealth beyond imagination. But it's not just treasure they find, they also encounter resistance. Bernal Díaz describes in vivid detail the fierce battles against warriors who defend their lands with arrows, spears, and sheer determination. But the Spanish have a secret weapon: alliances. Cortés, a master of diplomacy and deception, forges alliances with native groups who have suffered under Aztec rule. With their help, the Spanish push forward, marching deeper into the heart of the empire. Díaz recounts the treacherous journey through jungles, rivers, and hostile territories, all while battling hunger, disease, and enemies at every turn. Finally, they reach Tenochtitlan, a city unlike anything the Spaniards have ever seen. Built on an island in the middle of a vast lake, its shining temples, palaces, and canals stretch as far as the eye can see. The Aztecs greet the Spaniards not with swords, but with gold, believing Cortés might be the god Quetzalcoatl, returning to claim his kingdom. But as Díaz reveals, this is just the calm before the storm. Tensions rise, and soon blood is spilled. The Spaniards take Montezuma hostage in his own palace, demanding more gold and control over the empire. But the people of Tenochtitlan will not stand idly by. Rebellion erupts in the streets, and the Spanish find themselves trapped in the heart of the city, surrounded by thousands of Aztec warriors. Bernal Díaz recalls the chaos, the terror, and the brutal battles that follow as the Spaniards fight for their lives in what becomes known as La Noche Triste, the Night of Sorrows. Against all odds, Cortés and his men escape, regroup, and return to conquer Tenochtitlan once and for all. In a final devastating siege, the city falls, marking the end of the Aztec Empire. Through Díaz's eyes, we see the destruction, the heartbreak, and the aftermath of this monumental conquest. But Díaz's account is not just a tale of glory and conquest. It's a story of the men who fought beside him, soldiers who, like him, were driven by ambition, hunger, and fear. He paints a picture of the real people behind the conquest, not just Cortés, but the countless indigenous allies, the noble Aztec warriors, and the women who played pivotal roles in shaping the fate of New Spain. The true history of the conquest of New Spain is more than a history book. It's a soldier's personal testimony, a gripping saga of survival, triumph, and tragedy in a land that would never be the same again. Through the words of Bernal Díaz, we experience the full, raw power of history in the making, an adventure that changed the world.